Our first guest tonight is an Academy Award-winning actress you know from films such as The Danish Girl, Tomb Raider, and Ex Machina. She stars next in The Glorias, which will be released on September 30th on Amazon Prime Video and Digital. Let's take a look.
This year, the press has finally discovered a movement that has already been strong for several years now and reported it as a small, privileged, rather lunatic event instead of a major revolution in consciousness.
Everyone's consciousness, male and female, black and white. This is the year of women's liberation.
Please welcome back to the show, Alicia Vikander. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
It's wonderful to see you again. Very good Gloria Steinem voice. I have to give you full credit there. That was very impressive.
Yeah, I had to. I mean, I do have a low voice, but I had to go even lower. Yeah.
This is a wonderful film where different actors play Gloria Steinem over the course of her life, based on a book she wrote about her life. And you and Julianne Moore actually got to meet her. I was lucky enough to have her on this show. I mean, she is a titan. And I was nervous talking to her. Were you even more nervous knowing that you then had to take on the task of playing her?
Yeah, I was. It was almost, I had this question asked to me just earlier today. Oh, how was the meeting of the first time? And I suddenly remember I did actually meet her for lunch first before we met for rehearsals. But I think I had almost had that as a blank because I was probably so nervous. I was just so I felt so privileged and honored to just be able to meet her. Then, of course, I managed to be a bit more calm when she saw me, Julianne and Julie, our director, for rehearsals, which she was so generous to tell me that she could be part of. And I think it was, quite a few times when Julianne and I just looked at one another, couldn't really believe what was happening. But Gloria, she's so incredibly generous, and she kind of pushed us and said, please just ask me anything. And in the end, we actually, I was a bit embarrassed to ask, but she actually read some of the scenes from the script herself, which was pretty mind-blowing. I even actually have some videos still on my iPhone, which is a bit of a treasure.
That's an incredible advantage. When I used to have to do impressions on Saturday Night Live, I'd have to record it off the TV to actually get the person to do it for you.
It was one of those things. I was like, is it okay? Can I film you do this? And she was like, yeah, of course. And, we ended up getting 20 videos. And I think in the end, she kind of enjoyed it. But it was sweet. She kind of started the scenes, and then she was like, stopped, halfway, and then she was like, well, actually what happened at that event, or actually what I did say, what that person said, and then it always turned out to a much longer, exciting story.
That is fantastic. I think the interesting thing about Gloria's life is she's always been timely, and yet it seems more timely than ever to be making this movie now. You guys must have been aware of that while you were making it.
Of course. I mean, a lot of the discussions that we had whilst filming was how excited we were, for, the release of the film. And of course, the topics that it brings up and the fact that Gloria, from the beginning has been so supportive and wanted to be part of us releasing this film. And we had big plans of, hoping to be on tour now and be on a bus and involve a lot of other women do a lot of talking circles, which is something that Gloria does a lot of. Now, of course, the world looks very different, but it was a very beautiful kind of communal feel that we got a few weeks ago when I think we were 16 women on that Zoom call. Gloria was one of them. We kind of passed around, the questions of what can you do? And everyone had their own ideas of how we can kind of get the message out. And,
you talk about how hard it is to have those communal moments, but I have heard that one solution you have to the dinner party that we can no longer have is to order the same takeout as the people that you Zoom with. This is a very novel idea.
That's something I did, like a sneaky thing. I can, to a friend, I can kind of send a text and it happened once when my friend was stateside. So it was a Sunday. So it ended up being a dinner for me and a brunch for my friend. And I was like, yeah, this is an address. You need to be there in half an hour. And then I had just called like another, I think it was Mexican restaurant. And the good thing is, like, Mexican food, you know, you can kind of decide to order the same thing wherever you are. So then we ended up having the exact same, order. And I think we even had the same bottle of wine. And then, that's a great way of really forgetting about the fact that you're in front of a screen. The tough thing is, though, because if you had a few glasses of wine, suddenly you've had this amazing social event, suddenly you just like go offline, and then you feel really lonely. Suddenly,
Right, and then
gone.
nobody believes
then
you
you're
when you
like-
say, "Look, I was at dinner with a friend." And they're like, "Where are you?"
Exactly.
I want to congratulate you as well because you got this in right under the wire. You got your driver's license in the UK.
I did. I mean, literally a few days before lockdown. It's been way too long. I promised myself I was going to do it before 30, but that didn't happen. But now I have it, and I was born in Sweden, which drive on the right side. So for me to have passed the test in the UK, in London too, with all the black cabs and everything, and on the left side, I feel like I'm hopefully not a huge danger when I go out there in the traffic.
I think the good news is no matter how bad a driver you are, there's so many other huge dangers right now. You're comfortably at the bottom of the list.
True. So people will forget if I just run over them.
Yeah, if you
That's
sideswipe somebody right now, that's the least of their problems. And it's really good now, so I think more than ever, a good time to be able to get in a car and drive as fast as possible. So congratulations on your license.
you.
Congratulations as well on the film. It's always so nice to see you.
So good to see you. Thank you so much.